Lichen as a beverage component. Lichen is a symbiotic association between fungi and algae. The fungi provides a structural element, and the algal partner it provides the photosynthetic component as well as sometimes it fixes nitrogen. Now, the lichens, they have a wide range of importance because they have both health promoting substances, the secondary byproducts in them. So we use lichen for our own benefit, also as a source of food. It is also a source of food for animals also, both the ungulates as well as the smaller animals like the snails, the squirrels and all. They also act as a source of nesting material for the birds. And this lichen, though they have very important property, they have a wide range of properties, but today I'll be just discussing how the lichens are used as a beverage, in which I will include lichen as a tea component, lichen used as a flavoring component in alcoholic drinks. Hello friends, I am Ayantika, and uh, before this video I have also done many other lichen videos. So just before this video I have done a video regarding lichen as a food material. So if you want to listen to that video also, I have put the link of that video in the description box. Also, I have put together all the links of other lichen related videos that I have made in the description box. So, before we go to the main topic of lichen as a beverage, I would like to ask a very small one question quiz, that is, which lichen is used, which goes by the name of the stomach ice cream? So, these are the four options. If you know the answer, write the answer in the comment section, and of course I will be giving the answer at the end of the video. So let's start the video. Lichen as a beverage component. We know that lichen, they have a wide range of secondary products. Due to the secondary byproducts, this lichen has some health promoting properties, but at the same time these health promoting properties, they do not affect our body adverse. The lichen, especially lichen as a the secondary components that I have mentioned here, they are responsible for anti-inflammatory property, antibacterial, antifungal, anti-parasitic, anti-analgesic. It also acts as an astringent, as a weight loss product, also as a stypic, as a tonic. And this lichen product, they have um, antimicrobial action, antibacterial action against gram-negative bacteria like Streptococcus, Staphylococcus, Mycobacterium, also fungal infection like Candida. So among the Staphylococcus, they are especially effective against Staphylococcus simulans, Staphylococcus epidermidis, and Staphylococcus aureus, and they also act against Bacillus licheniformis, Bacillus metagerum, Bacillus subtilis, Enterococcus facialis, and Hylobacteria pylori. So, as we see that this lichen, the secondary products of lichens, they have a wide array of health promoting properties. So they have they stimulate they are immunostimulants. They act as a weight loss product. They act as a tonic, act as a astringent. So either if we use it as a tea or as a flavoring material in either warm milk or in alcoholic based drinks, they're mostly used just not just as a flavorant, but because of this large range of their health promoting benefits. So I have given listed down mm, the byproducts that have this uh, medicinal properties, and the first lichen that I will be discussing here is the Ramalina. All the Ramalina lichens belonging to Ramalinaceae, they have different function, but Ramalina quadruplicans, Ramalina fraxinia, Ramalina fastigata, these are the three edible lichens that have been extensively used in food industry, and they also have a medicinal property of having antioxidative property. Antioxidative property means that they are able to bring down the effect or negate the effect of reactive oxygen species or oxidative stress of our body. Now we live in an environment that is already stressed. So due to this stressed environmental condition in which we are living, the use of lichen as a tea material is getting more popularity these days. And Ramalina quadruplicans, Fraxinia, and Fastigata are used for this. Though another Ramalina species, Ramalina polymorpha, is used as a dietary supplement. Next is this Ramalina is used as also a soup component. Next is the Pelticera. All the Pelticera species, they are commonly called dog lichen or pelt lichen because they belong to the Peltigeraceae family. Now, this Terricolous lichen, they have two photobionts. One is the nostoc, that is the cyanobacteria, and another is the photobiont, that is the Coccimixa. So it has its photobiont that is both the cyanobacteria as well as a green algae. So it is photosynthetically it is very effective, and also due to the presence of this cyanobacteria, there is nitrogen fixation. From this we can easily conclude this is Peltigera. They have they are very resilient, and due to this they are found in a wide variety of wide range of climatic condition. They grow over a wide range of substrate. And this Peltigera leucoflavia, it is a flavoring agent in milk, also in porridge. And this Peltigera leucoflavia has many medicinal property. That is, it is mostly used in milk. It is drunk with milk, though it is very tasty, but it has the medicinal property of urinary of treating urinary disorder, or treating a candidiasis, that is a yeast infection in the mouth, that is called thrush. It is also effective against the TB bacteria, against rabies, against cough. Also, they have a antioxidant property of Peltigera leucoflavia. Earlier we were discussing about lichen as a flavoring agent of tea, soup, pudding, but now we are going to discuss about lichen as a component of tea. Mostly the lichens, they are after harvesting they are dried, then pounded and pulverized to a powder and stored as such. But after when we need to prepare the tea, the lichen is boiled in tea, and then after heating it is allowed to stay as such for 10-15 minutes, after which it is strained and we can eat like we can drink lichen tea along with either naturally or with other flavoring agent. It can be a sweetener, it can be lemon, or it can also be various type of fruit juices, because lichen, some of the lichens, they have a slight bitter taste, and though the bitterness decreases after boiling, but still they are the lichen tea, it is eaten with some other flavoring agents also. And this lichen tea, they has been used as a medicinal drink by the people of the living in the boreal or the circumpolar region, especially in the Canada, the native tribes of Canada and America, the Scandinavian countries, as well as the native people living in the steppes of Russia. And also it is this lichen tea is very common in northern part of Africa, the Caucasian region, and also some part of Saudi Arabia. Now, as a lichen, as a component of lichen tea, it is also very common in China. And the first lichen that we are going to discuss as a tea component is Alectoria sarmentosa. Now, this Alectoria sarmentosa is also called the witch ear lichen, because of its very similar appearance to the hair, human hair, and it belongs to Parmeliaceae. And this fructicose lichen, this has been used as a tea component due to its uh, antioxidant property by the tribals of Canada and America. Next is Cladonia rangifera. Now, Cladonia rangifera, this lichen, this is a very common lichen. It is used as a forage food for the reindeer, and this is also used as a herbal tea. Apart from it, it is also used as a aquavit that I'll be discussing in the next slide. Now, this Cladonia rangifera, it has the medicinal property of relieving fever, cold, whooping cough, and constipation. Also, it has antibacterial property against TB bacteria. And this cladonia, they are mostly found in the very cold region, growing on soil. Next is the Cladonia evansi. The Cladonia evansi is also food material of the caribou deer, and this Cladonia evansi is named, common name is Evans reindeer moss. This fructicose lichen also is terricolous, and this lichen, this Cladonia evansi and Cladonia rangifera, both are used sometime as decorative material also. Next is the Litheriella. Now, this Litheriella cashmeriana, Syrinanderi, sinensis, and Cladonioides, all these Litheriella belonging to Parmeliaceae, they have a medicinal property. Litheria cashmeriana, this is that is in picture. We can see that very brightly colored yellow or brown color, and this lichen has antioxidant properties. And this antioxidant property of most of the lichens is due to the various phenolic compounds like the dipsides, dipsidones. And next is the Litheria serinanderi. Litheria serinanderi also have this antioxidant property. So it's a very good component of lichen tea. Now, Litheria cladonioides, it is very commonly used in the hilly tribes of Himalaya, especially in Pakistan, in India, that is the Kashmir region, and Nepal, and also in the Tibetan region. And in China, it is used as a herbal tea for people in the Sichuan region, Yunnan, and Ganshu region. And this tea, this Litheria cladoneoides, tea looks very dark colored, dark red colored. So this Litheriella cladoniensis, this is it is uh, it is named named as a deer heart snow. Because of this red color, it is called deer heart snow, this Litheria cladoneoides. And then is the Litheriella sinensis. Litheriella sinensis also used in the Tibetan region as a lichen tea. And all this Litheriella, they are used as due to their antioxidant property. Also they are used to reduce problems with blood pressure or inflammation, or any problem regarding cough, cold, soreness, or any problem with anti-inflammatory property, like that of asthma. In asthma there is inflammation, so this tea of Litheriella is very good for those people. So Loberia pulmonaria. Loberia pulmonaria, Loberiaceae. This is they looks like the lung, so they are called the lung warts. And this lung wart, they have got the antioxidant property, but as they are they are very commonly used in the medicinal plant, so they are over harvested. This Loberia pulmonaria, it is good against asthma, urinary problem, lack of appetite, cough, anti-inflammatory, ulcerative property it has got. And also it is antioxidant. Next is the Pseudovernia furfurecea. This is a fructicose lichen, and they have got antimicrobial property. So this decoction of this Pseudovernia is very good for any type of respiratory complaint also. Next is the Thamnolia vermicularis and Thamnolia subuliformis. Thamnolia vermicularis, this Thamnolia belongs to Echmadiphilidaceae family. And this fructicose lichen, both the Thamnolia, they are used by the people of China, especially the Yunnan province, and Japan and Korea also. This Thamnolia species. They are this Thamnolia species, mostly as they grow in the cold area, they are mostly used for their antioxidative property. And next is Umbilicaria esculenta. Now, Umbilicaria esculenta, belonging to Umbilicariaceae family, goes by the name of rock tripe, as it grows on the rock. And this has been used as an emergency food for sailors, as well as a tea in China, Japan, and Korea, due to their antiviral properties. Lichen as a aquavit component. Now the lichens are used as an aquavit is actually it is a alcoholic drink that is distilled from either grain or potato in the boreal region of Scandinavia, the Russian steppes, and they are this is a traditional drink, and they are drunk during special occasion like the Christmas, the Easter, the midsummer celebrations by the people of Iceland, Finland, Denmark, Germany, and some parts of Russia also. So uh, the lichens that are used as an aquavit component, to flavor the aquavit components are Asclepiaceae esculenta. Asclepiaceae esculenta, it is called the sunken disc lichen and belonging to the Megasporaceae family. They grow on rock and the main uh, the secondary product is not stick acid, and so this lichen has been used especially as a alcoholic drink to flavor the alcoholic drink in Arabian region as well as Iran and some part of Africa, also in the northern Africa. But this Asclepiaceae esculenta should not be consumed too much because they secrete actually oxalic acid, and too much of oxalic acid is also not good. So Asclepiaceae esculenta, that should be that the aquavit from Asclepiaceae should not be consumed too often due to this oxalic acid. Next is the Cetraria islandica. We know that it goes by the common name of Iceland moss, and this Cetraria, these have got a lot of they have got an antibacterial property. They also help in reducing the weight loss, actually reducing the weight. It help in weight loss, and it also is very good for the respiratory complaint, cough and cold and lung diseases. And this Cetraria also have this antioxidant property. Apart from apart from flavoring agent, it has a wide variety of medicinal properties. And so this apart from as a aquavit, the Cetraria is also used. Cetraria islandica, its tea is flavored and used as in the form of lozenges or cup syrup also. And it is flavoring agent in aquavit. But apart from that also, it is used as a health as a drink mixed with other type of flavorants like lemon or fruit juice. And most of the lichens, the main source of starch is either lichenin or non-lichenin. And next is the Cladina rangifera. Now, this Cladonia rangifera that I have been discussing in the previous slide while I was discussing tea, so is Everniastum serratum and Lobelia pulmonaria and Ramalina fraxina. So this is the all about lichen as aquavit. And aquavit, actually they are traditionally drunk and as an aperitif along with crayfishes. Now is our quiz question. Which lichen is used as a stomach ice cream? Now before I go to that question, we should know first that what is stomach ice cream. Now the reindeer, when it is hunted, its stomach is cut open, its rumen is cut open, and the Cladonia rangifera, that is the first option. It is the partially digested Cladonia rangifera. It acts as a flavoring agent to and is eaten along with any other meat, egg or fish, and it can act as a flavoring agent. And this partially digested Cladonia rangifera from the rumen of caribou deer, it is called the stomach ice cream. Though other variety are also food source, but our answer will be first option, Cladonia rangifera, which is a stomach ice cream. With this, I would like to conclude my video. In the conclusion, I should be saying that though the lichens, they have a wide range of health benefit. They are health promoting, and eating lichens or drinking them in any form is good for our health. But these lichens, they are very slow growing, and due to the over harvesting and the temperature rise and also constant herbivory or trampling, there are a lot of stresses due to which the lichens, they are becoming endangered or vulnerable day by day. So like use of lichen as a medicinal product will be damaging on the environment, because they provide food for most of organ non-human animals, like snails, like deers and squirrels, so and a lot of insects also. So we can do away with these lichens, because though they have health properties, but if we continuously use them, over harvest them, there will be no lichens left for other animals to feed. And especially this lichen, apart from lichens, we have so many synthetic medicines also. So, and also one thing is that the lichens, they do not have a very complex body structure. They have a thallus like structure. And so in environment that is rich in heavy metal, the thallus absorbs the heavy metal. And if we are going to use the lichen for our health benefit, we might get benefited in a short course of time, but in a long course of time, what will happen, the heavy metals will accumulate in our body, and it will increase the metabolic disorders in our body. The heavy metal poisoning will cause multiple disorders in our body, because these heavy metals, they replace the same valence other ions, same valence ions in our various cell cycle processes. And due to this due to this, there will be disruption of the cell signaling, and due to this, the metabolic processes will be hampered. So though it has health benefit, but the heavy metals that the lichen accumulate will in turn cause health problem if we use it for long term. Also, many of the lichens, though not all, some of the lichens, they are allergic. Also, these lichens, if they are lichen tea or any other lichen is drunk in tea form, in along with milk, or along with brandy or vodka or whatever, this if we have some digestive GI tract problem, then like say for example, we have an ulcer in the GI tract. This will in turn, this will not cause a health benefit. It might cause health benefit, but it will irritate the GI tract in the area where there is ulcer. So people with ulcers, or people who are allergic to it, or pregnant women or breastfeeding women, those people should avoid using any lichen products. And also due to the econo, these lichens, they are pioneer species, they are keystone species in any ecosystem. So I think it is better to have other medicinal uses, but we should not use lichen solely, and we should not use it daily for our own health benefit as well as for the environmental benefit. Thank you for watching this video. If you like it, share it with your friends, and do subscribe to get more such videos, updates about more such videos. And whatever videos of lichen I have made, I have put the links to in the description box. Thank you once again for watching this video.